Hey vinyl community, it's Phil again from Destination Vinyl. This is going to be episode 2 of my A through Z version of all my albums. I'm going to try and keep this one a bit shorter than the other one that ran over too long. I'm going to try and do C and D in this. There's a lot to cover, so I'm just going to get right into it. Can't promise I'll do C and D. I may have to break up the D's a bit. So we are going to go into start off with John Cafferty, Eddie and the Cruisers soundtrack from the first film. There was a second. I've been trying to find the soundtrack for the second movie on vinyl for decades, and I cannot find it. I would love to see a copy of that come around somewhere. That's one of my unicorns that I just can't find. Another one, Tough All Over, which is a great song, the title track of the album. That's a really good album. These guys sort of got compared to Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band a bit, and they just sort of 2-3 albums and sort of faded into history. John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band. This one's Roadhouse. They're really good rockers. It's a damn good group. I wish they'd stuck it out a bit longer. Very Best of Canned Heat. I love that one. That's great. And Belinda Carlisle, her debut album. I didn't think I was going to like this when a buddy of mine gave it to me. He says, I have 2 of them. I don't think I'd like about it. That's a really good album. And so is this one, Heaven on Earth. Great album. And now we come to the Carpenters. And all I ever had from the Carpenters for years, I bought this when I was a kid, through Columbia House maybe, was the singles, 1969 to 73. That was everything I needed of theirs. And then one day I'm at a friend's body shop, and someone had dumped a box of albums off his front door overnight, just left it there on the sidewalk overnight. And he said, I don't collect Carpenters. You want them? I said, sure, I'll take them. He's a big vinyl collector. So I said, yeah, I'll take them, whatever. Ticket to Ride, which was the renamed version of this Carpenters offering. And for some reason, this is only limited release. This was considered some sort of controversial cover, so it is in very high demand, very hard to get. And this is a promotional copy. This thing is my most valuable album on Discogs. This thing's worth like $200-300. Just the Carpenters. I don't get it. Well, if anybody wants to buy it, I might consider selling it. I don't know. I got a Ticket to Ride, and I got all the hits on the Greatest Hits. Now and Then, which is a gatefold. Not a bad album, actually. And I don't know what this one is called. Horizon. No name on the cover, just a picture of the pair of them. I love Karen Carpenter. Great voice, silenced too quickly. Jim Carroll Band, Catholic Boy. And this one was famous for song where they go, People Who Died. That was just hilarious. The Cars. Not really big on the Cars. I got their debut album, and I got whatever this one is called, Heartbeat City. Not big on the Cars. I liked them when I was younger, and now it's just sort of one of those bands I've gone off, like YouTube and John Cougar. Yeah, gone off them. Maybe just because I hear them too damn much on the radio. Oh, next up. Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison, classic album. Great album that is. So I gotta put these back. Another Johnny Cash, Special 20 Original Hits, sort of the Greatest Hits compilation. Chinga Chavin's Country Porn. I don't know how I got this. I don't think I've ever played it. Just a bunch of rude titled country songs, and that may not survive my next purge. A brilliant debut album. Arguably the most depressing album I've got. Tracy Chapman. I mean, she's just brilliant songwriter, brilliant musician, brilliant singer. I don't know, I can listen to that. I don't know what was going on in her life at the time she wrote all those songs, or if she wrote them all herself. But man, it's just a depressing album. Brilliant debut. Cheap Trick's debut. And most people know Cheap Trick from Budokan and on up. listen to their old stuff. Listen to their first 3 albums. They were just absolutely fantastic rock band. This is In Color, and the flip side in black and white, which is actually upside down. It's one of their quirks. Great, great album that is. And Heaven Tonight, another great album with Cheap Trick. And then they came out with at Budokan, of course, the quintessential live album, the one that really broke them on the radio and in North America, I think, up in Canada anyway. And then I bought this last year, year before. I just saw this on reviewed on Pete Pardo's Sea of Tranquility, the complete concert of Budokan. I didn't know this existed. It's a double album, the whole show. I didn't even know that existed until then. I got on Amazon, and the only place I could find it, and bought it right away. This is called Cheap Trick, the White Album, a joke because it's all black. And this is actually a promo album, and it's a radio interview done of the group. And this is done just before the release of, or just as Dream Police is being released. There's a lot of songs from the band, and a lot of talking about the songs. They're all interviewed at some point on it. Really, really interesting listen. The Dream Police. And then they came out with this EP, special edition, Found All the Parts. And that's really good. And I think this had a 45 in it. If I'm not mistaken, I haven't played this in a while. Yeah, it did. It had the 45 for the radio hit, Everything Works If You Let It. I remember I bought that when it came out. So a lot of these albums you see are first pressings, because I bought them when they came out. That's one of them. I've been offered a few bucks for that album before, my friends of mine, and I'm not going to get rid of it. I love that album. All Shook Up. Not a bad album. That's a little, not one of my favorites of theirs. This was a really good one. Lap of Luxury. I was really happy to find that. And I just found this one recently. Standing on the Edge. This had the hit Tonight It's You. That was I really enjoyed that one. That was just sitting there waiting for me in the new release bin a couple of weeks back. I've got a few more of these, but I'm just going to go over them when I'm finished because I haven't played them yet. They're in my to be played box. Local band Chilliwack. This had Lonesome Mary on it, and I think that was it. Only one I can recall anyway. So they're a local band, and another one from them, Riding High. People across the border might not recognize these guys. Rocker Box, another early album. I can't think what came on that. I don't recognize any of these songs. I haven't played a lot of these in so long. Their big one that came out, they really sort of broke them. Dreams, Dreams, Dreams. This says Fly at Night, and California Girl, and Reno. I've seen these guys live 3-4 times now. Chilliwack, Lights from the Valley. They said Never Be the Same. Arms of Mary was on this. It's a pretty good album. Breakdown in Paradise. Communication Breakdown was a hit. And this one, I Want to Be a Star. Who doesn't, right? Yeah, great album. Opus 10, which was another one. Secret Information was a hit on this. Don't It Make You Feel Good was a hit. Chilliwack Segway, which is really a greatest hits album. Yeah, that's it for them. And then we get into good hard rockin' album, Circus of Power. I didn't really know anything about these. My friend Greg had this in his collection, and I came over there one day after an afternoon playing albums and whatnot. My wife let me go and for the day, and so let's play some stuff you never listened to, that you haven't heard, and we played that one. It was really good. He didn't like it, but I did, and I kept it. He said, you can have it. Eric Clapton, No Reason to Cry. Eric Clapton, this is At His Best, So a double compilation of his old Cream and Derek and the Dominoes days. Is anyone here by Cream? I don't think so. Maybe it's just Derek and the Dominoes days. And 461 Ocean Boulevard, classic album, really great. Of course, Slow Hand, my original pressing copy of that. Play that one a lot. Backless, which I think is just almost as good as Slow Hand. I just love this album. Very moody, gatefold cover. Sitting alone on the couch. Just One Night, live album. That was I really enjoyed this. The Budokan again. Another Ticket, which was okay. I enjoyed it a little. I enjoyed it, but not as much as I hoped. Money and Cigarettes. That album sort of gets a bad rap depending on who you speak to. I like it. August, which I really enjoyed as well. And Journeyman. Again, some of these don't get a lot of great reviews, but I really like them. And then I got this 6-record box set, Crossroads, which has everything in it. This goes from his, wow, this is just incredible. Yeah, all this Derek and the Dominoes days, and Blind Faith, and Cream, and yeah, just fantastic set that is. Listen to that over and over again. We get into the missing one. Tula Clark's Greatest Hits, Volume 1. Yeah, Downtown, Couldn't Live Without Your Love, I Know a Place. This does not have Don't Sleep in the Subway, so I can live without that song. The rest are good. London Calling, my original pressing of that. I bought this when it came out. I love this album. It's really good. And Combat Rock, which I like as well. Rock the Casbah's on that. That's a good listen. Patsy Cline. Who doesn't love Patsy Cline? The Patsy Cline story. Just, the epitome of country female singers, in my opinion. Canadian artist Bruce Cockburn, Humans. If you don't know Bruce Cockburn, check him out. This has Rumors of Glory and Tokyo on it. They were big hits, but this is really a good album to listen all the way through. And same with this one, Inner City Front. Sort of a light bluesy feel to it. Dancing in the Dragon's Jaw. Another good one. And one of my favorite albums of all time. This is in my top 10. Stealing Fire. Just awesome album. If you haven't heard this album, you don't like Bruce Cockburn but haven't heard this one, give it a try. I can virtually guarantee you'll like it. Joe Cocker. This is a self-titled album. And One Night of Sin. Oh, since it's backwards. These are all backwards. What the hell's going on here? These are my records. Maybe this is why I'm missing some. The Collectors, which that previous group I mentioned, Chilliwack, this is what they were back in the 60s before they became Chilliwack. This is okay. Lydia Purple is the hit, I think. Sort of a hippy-dippy thing. I have it just for the novelty of having it. Concrete Blonde. I believe this is just a debut album. Self-titled. And again, one of my favorite albums of all time, Bloodletting. I could listen to this album all day long. Just fantastic voice. Just an awesome, awesome album this is. And Commodores Greatest Hits. And the Commodores, why do I have two Commodores albums? Midnight Magic. I don't know why I have that. have a look at that one or listen to it. That may not survive my call. If I have greatest hits, I may not need 2 Commodores albums. Okay, moving on and up. Canadian hard rock band Coney Hatch. And this was their debut album. If you don't know these guys, give them a check out. They're really, really good, real hard rock band. Another album of theirs called Out of Hand. It's another good one. Oh, well, you couldn't have a Canadian album collection without Stompin' Tom Connors, now could you? Souvenirs, Greatest Hits album. This has 25 tracks on it. And of course, he's famous for doing the hockey song, which you hear at all every hockey arena you'll ever go to. You'll hear that. Even down in the States, they'll play that song. And Alice Cooper, $1 Billion Babies. I have 2 copies of this. You'll see this one is my original one I got a couple of years ago for $5. It was in the as-is bin, pretty beat up. That is my upgrade copy, which I just picked up not too long ago. I haven't played that yet, so when that gets played and I check it out, make sure it's okay, it'll replace that one. That'll go to donation to a thrift store or something. Then I got Welcome to My Nightmare, Greatest Hits, which is what I had at first. I got the Greatest Hits album first, and I thought, well, actually, I kind of like this guy. Maybe I'll get a few more. And I have got a couple more, but they're in my to be played box, so I'll get to those once I get finished this. John Cougar, American Fool. Yeah, I was into him when he came out. And Scarecrow. But I find that the few songs of his are just so overplayed. I've just gone off of them. That's Lonesome Jubilee. Just overplayed to death on the radio. Just kind of tired of his voice. Same as I am with U2 and a couple of others. Cowboy Junkies, Trinity Sessions. Great album. Great album. And they do a version of Sweet Jane. Yeah, Sweet Jane. They do an awesome version of that song. The Cranberries, everybody else is doing it, so why can't we? Another really good album. Singer passed away last year, year before. Too young. The memory of Dolores O'Riordan. Too young. So many rock stars, so many great singers, silence. It's just not fair. Robert Cray, Strong Persuader. Really good blues guy. And Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. If you've ever seen any of these Eric Clapton videos where he does his big guitar blues fests, Robert Cray's always at them. Fantastic performer. And my really nice copy of Cream Disraeli Gears, arguably the most garish cover in rock and roll history. I mean, where do you look at this thing? But it's a good album. And let's see, where do we end up here? Cream. Heavy Cream, sort of a greatest hits compilation thing, sort of in the same wave as that Best of Eric Clapton. Then we get a little CCR. This is their debut album, I believe, just self-titled. And I've got Willie and the Poor Boys. Found a nice copy of that a couple of years ago. And of course, Cosmos Factory, classic album. Everyone knows that one or probably has it. And what is this? More Creedence Gold. It means I have to get Creedence Gold because I don't have the first one. But Greatest Hits compilation thing. Jim Croce, Greatest Hits, Photographs and Memories. Beautiful album, great to listen to, front to back. Not a bad song on it. Too bad another guy taken from us too soon. It's just, you know, rock and roll gods are just not being fair to us sometimes. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Deja Vu, a classic album. CSNY, Four-Way Street, excuse me. And the Cult, Sonic Temple. Great hard rock album. I love that one. Canadian artist. Started in the Guess Who. Went solo. Burton Cummings. My Own Way to Rock. Woman Love. Man, he has some just awful album covers. Dream of a Child. And Best Of. It's a double album. Greatest Hits. I may not keep all of those. I'll keep the greatest hits. I may move on from a couple of those. Roger Daltrey, the McVicker soundtrack. Did a solo album from The Who. Man, this is great. Yeah, that was a really good album. Never saw the movie. I really wanted to. England, Dan, and John Ford Coley. I've got a lot of those down here. Yeah. Nights Are Forever and Dowdy Ferry Road. I have these because each one just has like one or two songs on it that were singles that I wanted, and I can't find the singles, so you know they're each in the dollar bin. So for $1, yeah, I'll take them. Deep Purple. I don't have many Deep Purple. They're hard to find on vinyl. Just people snap them up. I got Shades of Deep Purple. Plus I have Machine Head. I managed to find a good copy of that. And to tide me over till I can get some more, I got Very Best Of. I would love to find In Rock and Made in Japan and Made in Europe, their live albums. Just really, all this hard rock and heavy metal stuff is really hard to find. When people have got it, they keep it. Def Leppard, another one of those bands that I liked when they first came out, and over the years I've just sort of gone off. On Through the Night, High and Dry. These are original pressings. I bought these when they came out. Pyromania and Hysteria. Just really bad covers, man. Really bad. Garish. Eric Clapton, Delaney and Bonnie and Friends on Tour. Good album. You ever get a chance to see this in the store and pick it up? Good album. A real hidden gem. And I don't believe in guilty pleasures. I've used this phrase in the past, but I don't believe in guilty pleasures. They're just pleasures. I'm not going to make excuses for owning records anymore. The bands that people look down upon, I don't care anymore. I'm of that age that I just don't give a shit what people think about. So you know what? One of my favorite artists, one of the best concerts I ever saw live, John Denver. Fantastic singer, great storyteller. Yeah, a lot of his albums, Farewell Andromeda, Back Home Again, the Christmas album. I don't care for that one. I'm not into Christmas myself. It's my wife's holiday. Wind Song, that's a really good one. Airy, it's another really good one. Poems, Prayers, and Promises. I mean, they're all good albums. Just, you know, you have to be in the mood for it, and it's got to be to your taste. Not a lot of heavy metal guys won't collect it just because it's John Denver, right? But An Evening with John Denver. There's a fantastic live album, double album, fantastic. I Want to Live. Sadly, he didn't. This is just called JD. Autograph, these last 3 or 4 are some of his later albums. And Some Days of Diamonds. A bit more of a grown-up approach to music from him in those last 2 or 3. But, yeah, I saw him once in the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. He was center stage. Played to all sides of the audience. It was just, you know, everyone knew the songs. It was just fantastic. This is by a band called Detective. And the lead singer in the center there, I'm going to mispronounce his name probably, Michael DeBar. He was the singer for the made-up band Scum of the Earth back in WKRP when they hosted the band in their station and produced their concert. He was the lead singer of that made-up group. Just a hilarious episode. Neil Diamond, 20 Golden Greats. That's pretty much all you need from Neil Diamond. I mean, I love the man's voice. I miss seeing him live. Unfortunately, I couldn't get tickets for his last final farewell show, but would love to have seen that. He apparently was still a good performer. But that's about all you need from Mr. Diamond. Dire Straits, I guess this is their debut album. And one of my favorite of theirs, and one of my favorite albums, Love Over Gold. Very dark, very moody. I love this thing. This is just fantastic. It's only 5 songs, but Telegraph Road is 14 minutes on the first side. Just awesome, awesome song. If you haven't heard Telegraph Road, it's worth buying this album just for that. Brothers in Arms, everyone's got that. Oh, Willie Dixon, fantastic old blues guy. This is called The Chess Box, and this is just he was a writer. He was one of the most important blues songwriters ever, it says here. And yeah, it's got all his songs being done by Willie Dixon himself. He's doing some Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Little Water, Bo Diddley, blah blah blah, all the way down the line. And that's just a fantastic set. That is and it's got a beautiful booklet with a picture of the man in the back. All sorts of credits, story on the man, and this is a 1, 2, 3 album set, I believe. Yeah, 3 album set on Chess Records. I've been offered some money for that before too, and I won't take it. I just love that set. Then we completely change directions and go into Dokken, German hard metal, heavy metal band. And this is really weird, and this pays you. This is a lesson I learned a bunch of years back. When you're buying used albums, open them and check them and see, make sure that the album in the jacket matches the jacket. Because I bought this one, Dokken, under lock and key, and when I went to pull it out to play it, I got Back for the Attack. So now I've got under lock and key, a mint cover and no album, and I got Back for the Attack and album and no cover. Frustrating. That was my moment, and ever since then I always pull everything out and check it. The guys at the store or the guys at the swap meet say, you don't have to check it. I have to check it. Trust me. I've been burned. And possibly my most unfavorite artist in my collection. I don't know what I will never listen to this. I will never listen to this. I only bought this for the cover. Thomas Dolby, Aliens Ate My Buick. Just my favorite album cover of all time. It reminds me of those old 1950s movie posters when Martians invade and monsters attack. That's what it reminds me of, an old movie poster sort of thing that Sven Gulli would play on MeTV on Saturday nights. And when I get this room set up, I will have that framed and on the wall. Just the album cover, I just love it. And then I got a few C and Ds. I haven't finished the C and Ds, obviously. I still got more Ds to go, but another half a box of them. But this is at 28 minutes. I'm going to leave this one, so I'll end that at there, and I will come back to it. But I'm going to just do a few C's and D's that I have there in my to-play box, so I haven't got to them yet. This one I just picked up not long ago. Cheap Trick, Next Position Please. I don't know anything on this album. But it was a really bad cover. It's flimsy. It's cardboard's really flimsy, and it's got ringware, and it's got a thing off it. And I bought this at Red Rum Records last weekend or weekend before. They had it for $14.99 or $12.99, and bought it up to the guy and says, "Look, man, it's got library. It's from Manchester Public Library in England. It's a UK pressing." He says, "Hey, man, come on a minute. Give me a break. It's in horrible shape." And you know, if you sell it for $5-6, and they said, yeah, and they did it. So I bought it. As one. I don't know the album. I haven't got it, so I'll find an upgrade copy of that sooner or later. Alice Cooper, Goes to Hell. I told you I had more Alice Cooper. And Killer. Again in my to be played section. I'm so far behind in playing albums. I've had a lot of speaker troubles over the last year and a half, and I just recently got my my speakers back, so I'm starting to go through them. Deep Purple, Perfect Strangers. I was really pleased to see that in the new arrival bin. Rick Derringer, All American Boy. That's got Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo on it. Really, I think I did play this. I didn't really care for that album that much. I haven't played this one yet. If I weren't so romantic, I'd shoot you. You know, I don't know about that one yet. I'll give that a shot. Dawkins, double album, Beast from the East, double live. I'm looking forward to that. My buddy says it's fantastic. Duran Duran, Rio, I just picked this up this past Saturday. As a matter of fact, I went into the record store and thought I was going to come out with nothing, because I was going through and seeing nothing, and then I got to the D section, and there it was, and that's been on my want list, my radar for a long time, so I'm glad to see that. So I'm going to put these back in my to-play bin. And then that gets me up to what? That gets me up to D-O. So I think next is Dr. Hook. But that's in another box, and I'm going to do some rearranging in here, and this video is getting too long. So I'll leave you at that, and I'll start with D-O on the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.